Okay. So we're going to start just using our time up right away with some questions. Everyone in the room has read Underwater.
Thank you for reading.
Okay. Hi. I don't know how to do this. My name is Talia. I was wondering what you hope readers got out of Underwater.
I really hope that they feel less alone. That was really when I was a teenager and struggling with anxiety, I wish that there had been a book like Underwater out there. So that was really one of my main purposes, just to help readers feel less alone.
All right, thank you.
And when we introduce ourselves, it might be interesting for her to hear why you're in this class. Okay, Cassie, you can start that trend.
Okay. Hi, I'm Cassie. I'm in this class because I thought it would be very interesting to integrate it into my future elementary teaching as a elementary teacher in the future. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm married to a teacher, so I love teachers.
Oh, yay! Well, my question is, what determines a good story?
Oh gosh. I think it's different for everybody, right? I mean, it's the same. There's a 5-star read for one person that's a 1-star read for another person. So I don't want to act like I'm the expert on what makes a good story. But for me, I'm very much character driven in what I write. And so if the characters aren't there, then I don't have a good story. So that's kind of where I tend to start. And a little, something to some sort of mystery to kind of figure out ends up creeping in. But, it's totally different whether you're writing fantasy or contemporary or dystopian or, I just think to just say there's one way to make a good story. There's so many ways to make a good story, and I've seen them all, and I'm jealous of a lot of them.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Shelby.
Hi.
I'm actually a psych major, but love literature. So my question is, what inspired you to write about such a heavy topic, and what research was conducted throughout the book to make such an impact?
Okay, so the initial idea, the initial seed for Underwater was when my 4th grade daughter came home and they had done a lockdown drill at school. And my husband, who's a high school teacher, was having lockdown drills all the time and actually had some actual lockdowns. And that's when it started hitting me of how much of a reality this is for this generation.
Right.
And on top of that, I was really wanting to write about somebody struggling with anxiety. And it just sort of all met where I realized what the story was when I thought those are the two things that I wanted to write about and how I could make that work.
Perfect, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Marisa.
Hi.
My name's Nadia, and I'm taking
Nadia.
I'm taking this YL class because I saw it on one of my required classes, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm taking that first. So my question for you is, what inspired you to write the character Ben as you did? The relationship Morgan had with him was so beautiful to me.
Oh, thank you. I love Ben. I think for me, Ben kind of represented the innocence that Morgan used to have. I mean, just that he was on that precipice between understanding and not understanding what Morgan was going through, understanding and not understanding what was going on with their dad, and the stress that their mom was under. And so I just felt like he was there as a bit of relief for a lot of what was really heavy. I also am a parent, so Ben was inspired a lot by being a parent and wanting to write a younger child.
Well, thank
Which
you.
couldn't be the main character in YA, but I could squeeze him in there.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Hello, my name is Adrian, and I'm also a secondary ed major. A lot of teachers in here. And I was actually wondering, how much of yourself do you see in your characters, if at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny because I think my brother really said this best, where he said this book is not about Marisa, but she's on every page of this book. So I think I think it's impossible to not let yourself be part of what you're writing. Like Morgan, I have anxiety, not to the extent that Morgan has. So, I mean, there's a little bit of that. But then I'm also a mom, so I understand where Morgan's mom's coming from. So, I mean, yeah, there's bits and pieces of me scattered in there because I can't really help it. But to say that I am Morgan or I am mom or wouldn't be the case. But
Okay.
yeah, so that's pretty much.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Hi, my name's Chris. First of all, thank you for giving us your time to come and talk with this class.
Thanks for having me.
I'm a writing major, and so I'm planning on doing that when I graduate. And I was more curious about how you go about your rewrites. Like, I'm writing a short story, and I feel like the structure is there, and it feels really good. But I'm going back and I'm rewriting paragraphs or like cleaning up sections, and it's giving me headaches. So I was wondering how you go about it.
Yeah, well, the real writing is in the rewriting.
Yeah.
Just get out the messiest first draft that you can. I have a critique group, so it always helps, to get reads and with people that you really trust and that understand. I mean, I'm in a critique group with a middle grade author and an adult author, but it still works, even though we write very different things, because we each know what the other person's trying to accomplish. So finding that critique group that gives you the feedback that you know is right for you. And, then I was lucky to have a fantastic editor at FSG who really, really got the story. And I think that that's, we should all be so lucky to find that editor that really, really gets the story. But then also Kate, my agent, who just had invaluable feedback, knew what the story was, knew where it needed to go, knew who the right person was to be editing it. I mean, it's just surround yourself with people that understand what you're trying to do.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Alex.
Hi, Alex.
I am wanting to be a secondary education, but hopefully get my master's in psychology. So this book was pretty amazing. One of my questions is, do you want your book to be taught as a part of curriculum? If so, were you trying to encourage to seek help when a person is in need of therapy?
I definitely wanted to write a therapy positive book. I think there's still a lot of stigma around seeking therapy. I think it's gotten a lot better, much, much better from when I was a teenager. And so certainly I didn't want to come across as any kind of expert on anything, but if there was something in the book where somebody was reading it and related to something in some way and thought, wow, Morgan talking to Brenda was really helpful, I think it would be helpful for me to talk to somebody, absolutely. As far as teaching it in curriculum, I mean, that would always be a dream to have your book taught in schools. There is a study guide for it, and I know that there are some classrooms that have taught it. So yeah, absolutely, that would be a dream come true.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Stacy. I'm secondary ed as well, so future teacher. And my question for you was, what's your relationship like with your editor, with she being here in Colorado and you being out of state?
With my agent, you mean?
Oh, yeah, with your agent. Sorry.
It's great. Kate being in Colorado with this, like Skype and with email and cell phones, you can kind of be anywhere. I feel like I could be anywhere and have a great relationship with Kate. And Kate's really good about scheduling time. Like, I see her a couple times a year because she's out in LA for one reason or another, for conferences and things like that. And so the communication level, I think, is great, and she's really good at getting back to you really quickly. And she's also really good at pep talking you when you are a stressed out, crazy writer. So yeah, I feel like I have a great relationship with Kate, and I'm very lucky to have that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Thomas. I'm also a secondary ed major, but I also love to write, so your book hit a lot of boxes for me, so
good.
Appreciate that. But I was just wondering, what was the most personal part of writing underwater for you? Like, positive or negative?
Right. So there's a specific scene when Morgan's mom is smoking a cigarette out on the chaise lounge outside of the pool.
Yeah, I remember.
And when I wrote that scene, I was crying. And it just became, it was like I understood Mom, I understood Morgan. It was like the perfect melting of everything that I knew. And needing the comfort of your mom, needing to give the comfort of a mom to your daughter. So that was probably the most personal, if I'm going to pick out a scene, that was the most personal scene for me. That hit me personally, it made me cry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Erin.
Hi.
I'm also a secondary education major.
Awesome.
Again, my question was, why did you choose to write a YA or young adult literature book instead of adult?
I don't think that it was a choice. I just think, as I've always written about teenagers. There's just something about that time of life that's so raw and real, and everything seems big. And just that's how the story came to me, and especially with what I was wanting to write about, a school shooting. I wanted to write it from a high school character, not from a teacher's point of view or an adult's point of view. But it's never been a choice to write it YA. It's just how it's always happened. I couldn't not write YA, I think. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Nicole. I'm a secondary education major. Are there aspects of your own life threaded into your novel?
Definitely. I kind of spoke to this question before, but yeah, there's definitely bits and pieces of me throughout. I would never say that the novel was about me or about my life, but my thumbprints are very much all over the story. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything specific you're wondering, or?
No.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Janessa. I'm actually a theater major.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And my question is, what part of the writing process do you find a struggle? Is it like coming up with an idea, the rewrites, and do you have any tips to make it maybe not less of a struggle, but a little more fun for writers?
I think the biggest struggle is always when you get stuck, and you have to decide, am I really stuck, or do I just not want to do this right now? And so a lot of times I'll just write through it, knowing like, hey, whatever I'm writing right now might completely be deleted. And if sometimes I'm just there and it's going and the words are not coming, go do something else. Wash dishes, go for a walk, go to Target, whatever, thing that you need to do. And then I'll come back and sit down, and it's usually there again for me if I just take a break.
Good advice.
But you gotta keep going. That's the big thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tori. I'm secondary ed, and my question for you is, your book deals with a school shooting, so what are your thoughts on darker topics in YA Lit?
I think they're important. I tend to be drawn to them. Everything that I've written tends to have a darker subject matter. But I just feel like they're so vital for kids, for students, to be able to have something to relate to and give them sort of a safe space to talk about things and identify things. I think kids don't always want to talk to an adult about it, but having something in a book that they can relate to is vital. So I just think that what's happening in YA right now is so exciting, and I'm just thrilled to be a part of it in any way.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello. So I am a young adult dystopian writer, and I'm currently writing a book based in this dystopian. And my question is, why do you think since the Hunger Games came out, there was such a boom in dystopian novels and post-apocalyptic or pre-post?
Oh gosh. I think everybody kind of once something hits big, I think everybody sort of wants the next thing like that. And it's funny because I know I just saw on Twitter last week, it was funny because a lot of editors and agents, an editor came out and said, okay, I'm going to say this, send me your vampire books. And all of a sudden, people were like, wait, we can do vampires again?